All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is AJ Hall, and I make drum break samples for producers. Today, I'm tackling a full song custom order, all right? So I'm going to be tracking drums to somebody's full song, send them 2 takes with 2 different sounds all the way through, send them the raw stems and 2-track mixes for them to drag and drop right into the session. Let's get it. All right, so here we are at the kit as I'm putting my inner monitors in. We have a couple of vintage drums up. We have my Zildjian cymbals up, the 20-inch cymbals. There's one with rivets in it and one without rivets in it. I have these hi-hats that are going to give me a nice little foot chick sound. You know, this track that the client sent is kind of a New Orleans second line thing, but it's a little more up-tempo. It's a little more Medeski, Martin, and Woodish. It's not super slow, greasy second line. So what I want to do is give the option on the first take to have this really snappy, but more of an old school kind of thuddy sound. I'm going to get to a super bright and tight sound on the second take, all right? Come on in here. All right, so again, we are here at the kit. I have the same kick and toms up, same cymbals. I changed the top hi-hat cymbal to give the foot sound a little bit more brighter tone, and I changed the snare. The snare is very different. It's a Ludwig Superphonic. The old snare was a wooden snare. It had kind of a drier sound. This one is super snappy and like Clyde Stubblefeldish. So we're giving client 2 different takes with 2 different sounds to choose from. So they can use them, or they can use one for the entire song, or they can go back and forth between the 2, all right? Here we go. Bossa Nova. All right, man, let's mix both takes and see what we got. So we have officially mixed the first take. Check out the way it sounds. So I want you to peep out the way the spring reverb sounds. The spring reverb is also being used on my room mic, which is the Periscope mic. It's by Scope Labs. It sits right here at the desk and the kit is over there. This mic has a built-in compressor inside of it. So it's gonna give me that sort of distressor, extremely smashed sound right out of the gate. I kind of duck a lot of the lows out of it. I send it to a spring reverb. So check out the room mic by itself. You obviously hear that spring reverb going through it. Check out the entire take without that room mic altogether. You see how it just sounds a little bit dry? We're gonna take that room mic and just re-engage it. Listen to how much better of a spread that we have, and just the brightness and that little bit spring reverb barking where the snare comes in, all right? You get the reverb, but you're not getting like a giant reverb sound. It's just kind of an enhancement on all that like jangly snare activity that I have going on. I have the entire drum signal going through the tape Zulu box. So check it out without the Zulu box and then with it. Now pay attention to the glue that it gives, pay attention to the way the transients of the kick and snare give that little bit of sweet overdrive, and just the overall vibe of the drums changes. Use headphones or speakers or something like that. Peep out the way the kick drum and the snare drum really stick out as their own voices with a little bit more authority when going through this. That's how 2-inch tape emulators work, and I've never heard a 2-inch tape emulator, let alone a passive, actual box 2-inch tape emulator, work like this one does, man. Peep out the kick and the snare with it on. You really get a different sense of the transients with this box, man. I absolutely love this, especially when I'm tackling full song orders. So I did the second take with that Ludwig Superphonic, right? It's tuned a little bit higher. I changed the top hats. I also changed the kick drum beater, which I didn't say. Changed the kick drum beater from a feather one to more of a hard felt sound, so it's getting a lot more of attack in this second take. The goal is to send the client 2 different takes with 2 different drum sounds. Check out the way take 2 sounds. That's very different than take 1. And take 2. Them sounds very, very modern, and one of them sounds kind of old school and like organ trio-ish. It all depends on what the client wants to use, and they're gonna get both of these. By the way, we have the raw stems going out too. They're gonna get this. And they're gonna get this. All 10 mics, the snare, the room, the hat, the 2 toms, stereo ribbon overhead, ribbon crush mic, which is catching a lot of the low mids of the kit, bottom snare mic, and the kick mic. All 10 signals, and the full mixes of each take, which sound like this. Zulu box really matters with a snappier drum sound like this, so check it out without the Zulu box. Another plugin that's really important to this sound is the Arturia Comp Tube STA. So it's basically a tube compressor modeler, right? I have it running parallel right now. I tweaked one of the presets in here called Drums Rounding Peaks, and that's really what it's doing. It's taking the really, really sharp, hard transients that normally would stick out way too much in a mix like this. It's taking them, it's just sort of rounding them off, right? I have it running at parallel. Check it out without this compressor. Now, normally I would appreciate that kind of sound for just a drum break, but this is an order for a full song. Plus all that activity on the snare drum is just way too much if you're gonna add instruments on top of it. I still want that crunch, but I don't want it as aggressive. So I'm running it parallel, and I turn up the Comp Tube STA by Arturia. Check this out. You're getting that mix from me that isn't necessarily my full drum break, just in your face aggressive sound. It's more of a friendlier version meant for a longer song with a bunch of instruments and solos on top of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to bounce out both takes of these drums, bounce out all the raw stems, and send them to the client. You can hit my website, leftfielddrumbreaks.com, go to the custom orders section, and you can actually order a full tracking session from me. I'll send you 2 takes with 2 different drum sounds, or the same drum sound for both takes if you want. I'll send you all the raw stems, and I'll send you a full mix of each take as well. All right, hit that link in my bio or go to leftfielddrumbreaks.com. You can also order custom 16-bar breaks or a full song order just like this.